war. Football TV, with check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Football TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Football TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Football TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Football.
Hello dear, my name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello K. Lyndon Toba. My name is Gwefina Korishpa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Topo Village community along the Japanese Highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like with no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform
Focal TV, bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Focal.
To some important information relating to our country, Liberia, and the world at large. So let's look at our newspaper revision here in studio. We have the Daily Observer newspaper, we have the Front Page Africa newspaper, we have the New Town newspaper, and the Hot Pepper newspaper. So with all of these newspapers in studio, we are bringing to you two top stories, and we will bring you the news in details along with the headlines. So we take a short break, folks. The minute we get back, we begin with the Daily Observer newspaper. Please stay with us, share our live stream, and make use of our comment section, because this is Focal Online TV, and this is the daily of Inside the Print Media. Thanks for watching. I'll be right back. Sure.
Focal TV, bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Tobo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep focus.
Welcome back to the daily edition of Inside the Print Media, and my name is Betfin Encourage Far. I'm here this morning as your presenter, along with my co-presenter. His name is
Kevin Tuba.
So we commence our news headlines from the Daily Observer newspaper. One of the headline reads, U.S. vows to sanction anyone who manipulates electoral process. U.S. vows to sanction anyone who manipulates electoral process. The U.S. government has expressed its readiness in impose sanctions on anyone whose activities undermine the credibility of Liberia's October 10 polls. The stern warning, according to Catherine Rodriguez, charge the affairs of U.S. Embassy, come as the U.S. wants to make it clear that it will not tolerate any democratic backsliding as the upcoming election are crucial toward consolidating the country's democratic gains. The United States here is prepared to assist in efforts to keep these elections free, fair, and peaceful by upholding accountability. Anyone responsible for engaging in activities to undermine the democratic election process in Liberia through additional measures such as sanctions. One specific of the sanctions were not aligned by Rodriguez, it is believed that they could entail visa restrictions and possible financial penalties against those found guilty of election interference. The U.S. and wider international community, which have been closely monitoring the political landscape to ensure a transparent and fair electoral process, considered the October polls as a pivotal movement for Liberia to safeguard its peace and democracy. This election cycle, which is the fourth in the country's post-war history, will be the first to be organized and administered in the absence of the United Nations Mission Force, which left the country in 2018. If the U.S. follows through with its threat, it will come just as it imposed a travel ban on some Sierra Leonean officials accused of meddling in their country's electoral proceedings. The move followed the dispute June elections, which Western observers say lacked transparency, even though some local and regional observers, including the African Union, that is the AU, and Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, declared the election free and fair. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken on September 1 noted that the U.S. will impose visa restrictions on officials who were allegedly involved in the manipulation and rigging of the electoral process, as well as those involved in alleged acts of intimidating voters, election observers, and civil society activities. The U.S. Rodriguez noted is calling on the government to ensure that the October polls are fair, free, and peaceful elections and should hold accountable anyone who attempts to disrupt it. This is how we move over to another headline under the Daily Observer newspaper. House convenes at night to approve Bear Mountain concession. House convenes at night to approve Bear Mountain concession. The House of Representatives has ratified the Bear Mountain 25-year mineral development agreement in a surprising late-night discussion despite assurance of a thorough review process. The House, which is notorious for the speedy passage of investment agreements, made a decision just a few days after the Senate, within a remarkable short time frame, swiftly approved the President George Weah administration request for an extension of the company concession agreement to 2051. The agreement signed between the government and Beer Mountain Corporation is expected to grant the mining company exclusive mineral exploitation rights and significant tax incentives for the coming quarter century for an investment of 520 million in mining operation by June 2024, while creating hundreds of additional jobs. The company, which is subsidiary of Aviso Resources, got its first concession agreement for gold extraction from Western Liberia in 2001, with a lifespan up to 2026, but the agreement has been elongated till 2051. This comes after the House Joint Committee on Natural Resources and Concessions, which is headed by Representative Clarence Massaquoi, had on September 4 promised a thorough review of the company over the past decades. The Massaquoi Committee even went as far as requesting Beer Mountain to submit in a matter of days the company's list of shipments for the past 6 months, clarity on the number of Liberian citizens employed, the issue of local contents, as well as an overview performance report, among others. However, it is not clear as to whether the document requested by the House were ever made available, as the committee has yet to release a report about the company. The House will not do anything to compromise the interests of the people, Massaquoi said at the opening of the public hearing on September 4. As such, the committee will scrutinize the mineral development agreement properly, involving a public participation, including community or country or county in which the concessionaires operate. This is how we move over to Kylian Tukpa, who will fill us in on our news headlines and news and details relating to the Front Page Africa newspaper.
Front Page Africa newspaper. NEC magistrate orders arrest of two fake presidential candidates in Nimba County. Upper Nimba election magistrate Milton Pay has officially instructed the Sanniquellie police to apprehend and bring to justice two fake presidential candidates purported to represent the Poor People Party, whose campaign materials have been unlawfully displayed in various public locations across the county. Magistrate Milton G. Pay asserted that the National Elections Commission recognizes only 20 official presidential candidates, not 21 as per the letter from the Office of the National Elections Commission, which is now in possession of Front Page Africa. The letter states, as you may be aware, the nomination process for the 2023 general and presidential election has concluded with a total of 20 presidential candidates officially registered for the presidential category of the elections. Certain unauthorized individuals are publicly distributing campaign flyers and urging voters to support their candidacy while falsely claiming that Eric B. Buan, the presidential candidate, and Eric Twayu, the vice presidential, are listed as number 21 on the 2023 request your esteemed office to apprehend them and make this their misleading campaign activity and any potential criminal action on public knowledge, thereby casting doubt on the credibility of the National Elections Commissioner. We move over to another headlines. The Liberian Senate adjourns following 2 weeks of special session. The Senate reconvened on August 22nd for a special session to consider what it called the bound matters of national interest, consistent with Article 32B of the 1986 Constitution. In his closing statement, Senate Pro Tempore Abbott Chie said that the Senate was successful in approving some of the agenda items that were earmarked for special session. Pro Tempore Chie also announced that the Liberian Senate successfully confirmed 7 commissioners of the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission. However, he was quick to mention that although the commissioners were executive until all financial obligations for the unexpired portion of the tenure of those commissioners were not nominated on new board of commissioners. accepted by the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. Additionally, the Senate received a positive update from the Board of Commissioners regarding the upcoming October elections. According to Senate Pro Tempore Arbor, the Senate was also ratified and amended and restated mineral development agreement between the Republic of Liberia and Bear Mountain Mining Company, aiming to continue developing gold resources in Western Liberia. This amendment contains improved revenue and benefits for the government and the people of the host community. At the same time, Pro Tempore disclosed that the public health law was formally discussed by the Senate, and the debate will continue upon the Senate return in the last quarter of this year, among other topics. This brings us to a close of Front Page African newspaper. Back to you, Greg, for the continuation of local news.
So we commence with the New Dawn newspaper, and another headline reads, another New Dawn newspaper, media executive complains UP. Media executive complains Unity Party. Local media outlets, Hot Pepper newspaper publisher Mr. Philibert Brown has officially complained to the opposition Unity Party UP, to the Minister of Justice alleging that he had been intimidated by the party. In a letter of complaint addressed to Councillor Musa Dane and dated 6 September 2023, Mr. Brown also drew the attention of President George Mani Weah, the Defense Minister, Liberia's Army Chief of Staff, the National Security Agency, the Liberia National Police, and the Director of the Executive Protection Service, EPS. Brown narrated that on 5 September 2023, he was caught up in a traffic jam behind Mosul Sports owing to UP's political rally in the vicinity of the ministerial complex. Upon his return from viewing the extent of the traffic jam, Mr. Brown said he was spoken to by Mr. Arthur Massaquer, his esteemed brother, who had approached his vehicle. He informed me that he was sitting with Councillor Buchi Ben Kata, so I opted to speak to him, he narrated. After pleasantries, he said the Unity Party folks complained about the ruling coalition for democratic change CDC supplements on the back page of his Hot Pepper newspaper and some of his headlines. Mr. Brown alleged that the UP folks concluded that he was supporting President George Weah when he should have been neutral. In my own defense, I simply said that I was a businessman, and if the Unity Party wanted to advertise, they were welcome to do so, Mr. Brown wrote. As for me being neutral or not, I told the Unity Party folks that the same right they have to support the Unity Party were the same right that I have to decide whom I support, he continued. He added that during his friendly exchange between friends, a well-dressed gentleman, supposedly from the Unity Party amid Councillor Keita and Mr. Masakwa said that they should beat him up. Even though sharply rebuked by the Unity Party folks, I, for obvious reasons, am I of the opinion that it is the mindset of the predominant views of the Unity Party higher ups to beat me up, Brown alleged. Mr. Minister, this is not a letter of complaint. I am capable of self protection and I'm in no way requesting protection from the government of Liberia, said Mr. Brown. He said he is simply stating for the record in case of any eventuality. This is how we proceed with another headline under the New Dawn newspaper. Liberian youth attend summit on non-violence election. Liberian youth attend summit on non-violence election. The local group yourself and partners with support of the United Nations Development Program in an intensive summit on regional youth participation in non-violence elections. At the summit, participants were cautioned on the danger and economic effect of pre and post election violence. They were urged to serve as peace ambassadors in their various communities, districts, and counties during and after the October 10 elections. The third regional summit was held under the theme Together Summit. It was held separately in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County, and Israel, Grand Judea County, respectively, bringing together youth groups for 9 counties, including Grand Judea, Grand Bassa, River G, River Test, Maryland County, Margibi, Monserrado, Sando, and Grand Cabo. The second phase of the third regional youth summit was taken to Kansas City, Lima County, on September 2023. It brought together more than 150 youth from the Lofa-Bon and Lima counties. Chief Executive Officer Mr. B.M. Flomokiwi said the objective is to mobilize young people across Liberia, 50 counties, and 73 electoral districts to advocate for peaceful elections and commit to supporting their political leaders in upholding the Farmington River Declaration, a commitment that was signed by all political parties to maintain peace in the country during and after the October elections. Mr. Peewee emphasized that the initiative serve as a cornerstone in ensuring a peaceful and harmonious electoral process, noting that the summit represented a comprehensive strategy aimed at uniting Liberia's youth and rallying their commitment to principles of peace and transparent electoral process. This is how we move over to the Hot Pepper newspaper. Kielina Tupa is being turned over to you for the news headlines and news and details.
Hot Pepper newspaper. Unity partisans threaten Hot Pepper publicity, but Philibert Brown vows to defend himself. Folks from the Unity Party have threatened to beat up the publisher of Hot Pepper newspaper, Philibert S. Brown, for allegedly supporting the re-election bid of President George Weah and not Ambassador Joseph N. Waka. In the letter to the Minister of Justice, Brown revealed that Tuesday, September 5, was a traffic jam around the interministerial complex vicinity time due to the Unity Party's campaign trail. He was greeted by Aircut Massacre, sustained red, approached his vehicle, said Massacre he Massacre was taken to Councilor Buchi Ben Kiata and so he opted to speak to him. After pleasantry, the Unity Party complained about the 60 supplement on the back page of my newspaper, Hot Pepper, and some of my headlines. They concluded that I was supporting President George M. Weah when I should have been neutral, Brown stated. In my own defense, I simply say that I was a businessman, and if the Unity Party wanted to have a tax, they could welcome to do so. For me, being neutral or not, I told the Unity Party that the same right they have to support the Unity Party were the same right that I have to decide whom I support. During his friendly exchange between friends, the well-dressed gentleman supposedly from the Unity Party in the midst of Councillor Kiata and Honorable Massacre said they should beat me up, Brown explained. Even though sharply rebuked by the Unity Party folks, for obvious reason is for the opinion that is in the mindset and predominant views of the Unity Party high up to beat me up, he observed. However, Brown warned that his letter to Minister Dean was not a complaint. Instead, for the record, as in the case of any eventuality, is capable of protecting himself. Mr. Minister, this is not a letter of complaint. I am capable of self-protection and I am in no way requesting protection from the government of Liberia. I am simply stating for the record in the case of any eventuality, Brown's later maintained. Copies of the letter was also sent to the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency George M. Weah of National Defense, Daniel Zianga, Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia, Major General C. Johnson, Inspector General of Liberia National Police, Colonel Patrick Sudu, Director of National Security Agency, Henry Pearson, and the Director of Executive Protection, service EPH Broken Rabbits. This brings us to a close of the Hot Pepper newspaper. Back to you, Greg, for the continuations of local news and both international news.
Thanks to you folks for listening to us, for joining us here on the daily edition of Inside of Print Media. I'm so sorry for the quality of the voice. We are in this season and the cold is raging from here, there, yonder. So I apologize for the poor quality of my voice this morning. But just to notify our viewers, we have Emmanuel Zaza and his stated title, The Liberian Election, a reflection beyond social media, introduction in an era where social media seems to wield substantial influence over significant societal issues such as elections. It becomes crucial to critically question its effectiveness. A salient example is the forthcoming Liberian election, a grand spectacle watched by the world. This election holds a significant difference attributed not only to Liberia past as a political hotbed, but also the impact it holds ever. That is his comment in our comment section this morning. Another person is watching, Yari Melvina Wega. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. And she's sending a compliment to me here this morning. Thanks to you, Melvina. I appreciate you for joining us this morning. Please always join our live stream. Honorable George Watkins Jr., good morning, everyone. Good morning, Honorable George Watkins Jr. It's good having you here. So this is how we close down on our local news within our country, Liberia, as it relates to our news source of papers in steel. We have the Daily Observer newspaper. We have shut down on the Daily Observer newspaper for this morning. We are done with the New Down newspaper. We are also done with the Front Page Africa and the Hot Pepper newspaper. So before we continue with our international news, this is a complaint by a media executive, and it's something that we are calling on the government to intervene, whatever it is. Let there be a proper investigation of truth, and let there be um, some things put into place so that we can continue to maintain the peace. We cannot be talking about peace in our country, Liberia, and we say we are unity partisan, and we are not in line with our name, Unity Party. We cannot be saying we are prioritizing the peace when we are coalition for democratic change, and we are not prioritizing our name. We stand for peace. We are against violence. We are not acting. It goes to ANC partisans. This is our country, Nigeria. This is what we have. No matter what, we love our country. Let us do away with all of these pushing and hauling and slapping and all of these things. Let us with this aggressiveness because something is not in our favor. Let us do away with them and let us continue to pray for our country, Liberia. So we encourage you to get yourself a newspaper. There are important issues. The issue with Beer Mountain, the issue with Beer Mountain, the issue of Beer Mountains being approved for another concession is something that is important because this request for an extension of the company concession agreement is up to 2051. So there are certain things that need to be read out to the public. There are certain information we have to get. The Senate to have to investigate on the livelihood of the employees within Beer Mountains. They have to investigate on a lot of things, their past and present. So we appreciate everything and we'll take a short break.
Focal TV, bringing you in the
Hello there, my name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello, K. Lyndon Toba. My name is Gwefina Nkorishpa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Tobo village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday.
Okay, welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. And we are back with our international news. Couple kidnapped from San Antonio home, 5 kids left behind. Police said. Couple kidnapped from San Antonio home, 5 kids left behind, police said. The 5 children weren't hurt, according to the police. Police in San Antonio are researching or are searching for a man and woman who were kidnapped from their home Wednesday morning. Officers responded to the couple's home around 6 a.m. and found 5 children believed to be victims inside and unharmed, San Antonio police said. The children told the police that the unknown suspects broke in and forcefully took the victims, who are in their late 30s. This is how we close down on our international news, and our source for today was the ABC. So who doesn't need to talk about this important thing today? As we all know, if you don't know, kindly be informed that the CDC will be having their campaign rally today on the Anthony Tottenham Stadium. It is prudent enough that we act on our peace we talk about today. It is prudent enough that we do away with all the unnecessary criticism. The reason why we are saying these things because these are things that trigger people's emotions. These are things that lead to people reacting the way they shouldn't be reacting, and it sometimes lead to a violent act. So let's prioritize the peace. Come up with your whatever it is, and then just go ahead and campaign. Be responsible enough. Yes, I'm saying yes because you will not want to hurt someone or you not want to take someone's life all because of something the person said to you in the name of politics. So it's prudent enough that you do away with all the different types of criticism because today you will hear them. Today you will hear people saying this, today you will hear people saying that. And this goes out to the other political parties that we continue to prioritize the peace we have within our country, Liberia. If what the journalist Philbert stated in his news year on the Daily Observer newspaper and the Hot Pepper newspaper, if sorry, the New Dawn newspaper, if what he said is actually true, then there's a need to call Unity Party to a point where they need to, they need to be talked to about their actions. It's not leading to something good. Their name should represent them. So there's a need to do away with it. And besides, it's a media practitioner. It's a media executive. So you cannot go against him. You cannot tell him to a particular place and then coerce him to do XYZ or to say XYZ or because you are angry about something. So there's a need for us to continue to prioritize the peace since we are saying it. Let's prioritize the peace. So you found out in our news feed from the New Dawn News yourself, like when you attended summit on non-violent election. All of these things, um these NGOs are doing it not because they want to waste money. They are doing it to equip your mind to enlighten you. Why is it that we cannot cannot continue with violence in our country. They are doing this because there's a need for us to go on with this election in a peaceful way. So thanks to yourself for the partnership and the support they got from United Nations Development Program. And this program had a lot of participants from nine counties within our country, Liberia. You have participants that went for this summit, and the team was together summit. It started with Grand Bassel, Sergio, Grand Jide, you have Margibi attending, you have Sanu, you have Grand Poo, you have Grand Bassel, you have River G, you have River Cess, you have Maryland, you have Sergio again, and there's a lot more. So you had all of these rural counties going to attend this particular program. You had Lima County attending. So there's a need that we all continue to prioritize the peace. And thanks to the Chief Executive Officer, that is being Flomo Piwi, said the objective of mobilizing young people across Liberia involved 15 counties and 73 electoral districts to advocate for peaceful election. So we have 15 counties and 73 electoral districts. This is for you to know, those of you who are watching. So if there's a question come, you can be able to better understand. So this particular program was held in September. It was held September 1, the first phase. And thanks to yourself for this brilliant program of Youth Summit on the issue of non-violence. Another issue is the beer mountain issue. House convenes at night to approve Beer Mountain concession. There's an agreement that should be signed for Beer Mountain. So Beer Mountain has ratified the House of Representatives has ratified that Beer Mountain for the 5-year renewal development agreement. It's surprising midnight decision despite of the assurance of thorough review process. So the House, the George William government administration request for an extension for Beer Mountain Company concession agreement up to 2051. Therefore, the head of natural resources and concession, Representative Clarence Massaquoi, on September 4th discussed this particular issue, and he said there are going to be thorough investigation, thorough, thorough conversation on this issue as it relates to all of the past occurrence with Beer Mountains in terms of records, in terms of those Liberian citizens that are employed, the issue of local content, performance report, among others. So the Dr. Sorry, Mr. Clarence Massaquoi is the head of Natural Resources Committee. He's the head of Natural Resources in Conception. His representative, Clarence Massaquoi, he spoke about this on September 4th, and he promised a thorough review. But up to now, we have not gotten whether all of these things he stated um, are being okay in terms of citizens who are employed being fully paid, in terms of their operation, in terms of documentation. We have not yet returned to the public to say anything of such. So we are hoping. So a total number of 37 representatives voted in favor of the concurrence with the attendance of 39 out of 73 members, according to the chief clerk record. So you see, 37 representatives voted in favor of the concurrence with the attendance of 39. So you see 39 persons were in attendance and 37 voted in favor. So you had 3 persons that was against. So the 73 members, according to the chief clerk, are members of the board. So they were absent. Some of them were absent, and you only had 39 who were in section. So the critic of the House, this decision agreed that 5 years is a significant period in a deal of such magnitude. should undergo a rigorous review process to ensure the best possible outcome of the nation. So this is how we fill you in on information relating to our country Liberia. Thanks to Emmanuel Zaza. Thanks to Yanni Melvina. Thanks to Honorable George Watkins for joining us this morning. My name is Gregory Courage Fry, and I am your presenter here on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. I'm here with my co-presenter, and I'm closing with my co-presenter. His name is Kelly Nansopa is my co-presenter. Don't forget to follow our page today for Sarah the Focal page where we're going to be streaming live of all of the happenings that will take place on the Anthony Tottenham Stadium today. Don't forget to stream live to be informed because our team will be on their OB activities today, bringing forth a quality broadcast, and we will be bringing innovation to broadcasting. We are not just broadcasting because we want to broadcast. We are on Focus Line TV. Everything we do it with innovation. So follow us today as we bring you important information on the happenings that will take place Central Town today, precisely or to be specific onto the Tottenham Stadium as it relates to the rally of the Coalition for Democratic Change. Kelly Nontopa, do you have a final word as we conclude to close?
Yeah, you are just that I watch you sit down very quietly, watching you commenting on most of those important things. And one of the statements that I earmarked from you is the issues that you all try to sensitize our people who are going to form part of that political category to always remain peaceful. So, in addition to what you have said, I just want to utilize this platform also to call upon seditions to be peaceful. I think this day has been set aside by the National Elections Commissions in cooperation with the security to give an exclusive protection to seditions. So I think no other party is supposed to be allowed or should be allowed to come in conflict or contrast with what the seditions to be doing today. So I mean, it is a very big jamboree that I can see the favor is just half of seditions. When I was coming to work this morning, I saw a couple of seditions who were actually moving, to stand along the roadside and waiting their auxiliary members and all the heads of the auxiliaries so that they can be able to go together. Because normally when you are moving single-handedly, the kind of exuberance you will experience will be quite different from that exuberance you will endure when you are moving with a group. So on this note, we just want to caution them to stay peaceful and let's go through this process peacefully and return from this process with a flying color.
Thanks to you, Kelly. No talk about time is past 10, folks. This is how we close down. My name is Bettina Sipar, and I serve as your presenter here on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. Stay blessed. Continue to focus on what is right and keep pushing because there's always a daylight of every day. Thanks so much. I love you, and I'll be back tomorrow for Friday.
Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV. With check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds.